This video is over topic 30, numbers 4 and 5. So on these, we're looking at scatter plots, answering questions about them. I'm going to pause the video for a moment. Okay, so now I have the chart on another screen so I can scroll down and see the questions. So first question, using the line of best fit. So that means we're looking at this dashed line, not at the data points. This is going to be an approximation. And Alex, I think they'll usually be multiple choice. I'm looking at 85, so halfway between the 80 and 90 here. Seeing where that lines up. So it's right about here around 1200. So using the line. Still using the line of best fit. What about for 90? So now I'm looking at 90 on this line. And again, doesn't matter if there's a data point. I'm just looking at the line of best fit. So make sure you use whichever it says. So that would be about 1300 according to the line of best fit. Now, there was that point, the actual day. Each of these points represents a day, and there was a day that had 90-degree temperature, and it had about $1,400 of sales. So those two, notice, they are not the same. The line of best fit and the actual data don't necessarily match up. So the line of best fit does not tell you what actually happened. It predicts what might have happened or what could happen in the future. So if there was another day that it got to 90 degrees, you might look at that line and say, well, the last time it was 90 degrees, yeah, they sold 1,400, but according to the trend, that was probably high. Like more likely it's going to be around 1,300. Could be a little higher, could be a little lower. But it's not necessarily going to be exactly the same as the previous day with that temperature. All right, so that was just with the line. Now we have the equation for that line, 14.425x minus 8.5636. The horizontal is the x, so x is the temperature. Vertical is the y, so y is the sales. So using the equation, what's the predicted sales for a day with a temperature of 60 degrees? We plug 60 in for x. So 14.425 times 60 minus 8.5636. $856,934, but it does say round to the nearest dollar, so I'll go to 857. Now, as I'm doing that, that should match up with the graph line. So at 60, here's the line, and we can see it is there between the 800 and the 1000, closer to the 800, so 857 matches. So if I got something that was 1,000 or 200 or something, if I look at the line, I would be able to tell, like, that's not right. Something went wrong with the calculation. All right, based on the equation for the line of best fit, what is the predicted increase in ice cream sales corresponding to a temperature increase of 1 degree Fahrenheit? When you start seeing increase and you have a 1 unit increase in something, that should start sounding familiar. We're talking about a change in ice cream sales is Y, and then the 1 degree Fahrenheit is 1 unit of X. This is asking for the slope, which is the number next to X in the equation. So again, similar to what you did in previous topics in this unit, recognizing when you're being asked for the slope, not doing any calculations or anything. This is about knowing information and recognizing when you're being asked for that. Okay, then we have a second scatter plot here. This is students' number of class sessions missed and final grade. So each point now represents an individual student. And we're told to use the equation of the line of best fit. So we're using the equation for all of these questions. So y equals negative 2.1911x plus 85.713. The x is the number of class sessions missed. And y is the grade. So what's the predicted final grade for a student who does not miss any class session? Does not miss any class session would be x equals 0. That would also mean it's the initial value, which is the 85.713. No calculations necessary, but if you were going to calculate, you could plug in 0 for x. We're not doing any rounding here. If it didn't specify, then keep all digits. What's the predicted final grade for a student who misses 4 class sessions? From the graph, we can see it's going to be somewhere in here. It's going to be a little below 80, but it didn't say use the graph. It said use the equation, so we're going to get that more precise prediction. So plugging in 4 for x into the equation, negative 2.1911 times 4 plus 85.713. Make sure you know how whatever calculator you're using, how that does negatives, so that you get that correct. 76.9486. And again, don't round if not told to round. Then for an increase of 1 class session missed, that's 1 unit of x. What is the predicted decrease in the student's final grade? Change in y. So again, asking for the slope, looking for this number next to the x. And then just watch if it seems to want you to put the negative sign with it or not. Because it said decrease, I would say that that takes the place of the negative sign. But if it says use a negative sign for a decrease, then use that. So that finishes that question.